a huge exodus leaving the UK, and I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about money. There's a thing called remittance, where expats who go to the UK to live, they earn their money, and a lot of them send it home. So in 2023, £3 billion left the UK
Mm.
by the Pakistani contingent in the UK. The Indian contingent makes up 1.2% of the population in the UK.
Mm.
They 6.5 billion in 2023 left the UK with them. So you're talking 9 billion there.
Mm.
And this, of course, is every year,
Yeah.
right? And 11,300 millionaires in the 12 months leading up to April 2024 left the UK. That's up 157% since the previous
Mm.
year.
Mm.
And they take out 10 billion every year.
Mm.
Right? And they're saying that after about 20 years, it's going to be something like 111 billion pounds that's leaving. Right? Outflow of capital is from the UK can create big problems.
Mm.
So it's all going one way, it's all going out.
Yeah.
If there isn't enough cash sloshing about in the system,
Mm.
then the government is going to have to invent more money, and that could create inflation. The
Mm.
more money they create, the weaker, the more money there is, and it loses its purchasing power.
Mm.
And of course, that would upset the apple cart and make things more expensive,
Mm.
making borrowing rates go up and
Yeah.
increase the national debt, which is already at 95% of GDP.
Mm.
I didn't think it was that high, but it is. We're getting there to 100%. So the Chancellor has two options. She's got two options. She can either reduce the size of government and the spending, which would mean that a lot of her chums in the government would lose their jobs because of the cost cutting. But of course, we all know she's not going to do that. She won't do that. The gravy train would have to pull into a station and loads of passengers get off, and that would be ugly. Right?
Yes.
Everybody wants to stay on the gravy train.
Mm.
The second option is to make the public pay the difference of the shortfall, of course, right? Which is what she's planning on doing. And when I say public, I mean pensioners. That's her
Well,
favourite. That's her favourite group,
easy targets. Yeah.
the most frail. It seems, and how's she going to do that then? How's she going to do that without telling them directly in the face? You know, she's trying to tax pensions, right? That's going to come into it, right? But also she's saying to the pension funds, uh, not to invest abroad, only invest in the UK.
Can't do that.
Well, I'm saying what she's
That's what
going.
she's saying. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if she
That's
could do that.
what they're going to do at
Yeah.
the last session before
Mm.
the summer recess.
Mm.
A white paper is going to be produced, and it's going to make if the Parliament says it's law,
Well,
it's
yeah.
going to be law,
Yeah. I
right?
know. I know. Yeah.
So basically, what she's going to do, she's going to make them invest in like infrastructure, like the Green New Deal, right? And of course, British companies instead of going abroad. Now, the thing is that a pension fund, the object of a pension fund is to get the maximum amount of profit.
Mm.
And so they go around the
Say that.
world
Yeah. Yeah.
looking for investment opportunities
Of
that
course.
are going to give them a high rate of return on the
Yeah.
investment,
Mm.
right? But if she stifles all that and makes them stay in the UK, when all these pension plans that these old age pensioners have been contributing for 30 years or 25 years or however long these pension plans are,
Yeah,
there's going to be less money in the pot in the end
exactly. Yeah.
because there wasn't so much profits made by the pension funds
Mm.
because
Well,
they limited their scope of where they can invest the money,
well, yeah.
which is going to lead to a generation of paupers, basically.
Oh no, one generation. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're
they're gonna
saying. Yeah, I
do
know
it.
what you're saying.
They're
Yeah,
gonna do it. They're
yeah.
gonna become paupers, and they're gonna realize the error of their ways,
I was going to say. Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And
Well,
they're just not going to be able to.
yeah.
Um, so basically, the pension managers, their salaries are going to be cut because a lot of them get its commission
Yeah,
on the
we have.
profits that they make.
Mm.
That's going to make the pension fund, pension managing, fund managing job
Mm.
less attractive.
Yeah. Well,
And so that could be sort of the beginning of the downward spiral of the UK's economy.
mm.
And of course, in the meantime, the Prime Minister, he's wanting to spend money on the military, which of course he should do. But I mean,
Yeah. Granted. Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm not too sure if now is the right time to announce it. At least announce it. It's like 1 billion here and 2 billion there and five
Just do
billion
it.
here.
I quite agree. Just do it. But
Well, the
yeah,
thing is, can the country, where's he getting the money from? That's the thing. That's the thing, right? With the smaller than expected private pension fund,
mm,
right? You're going to get an awful lot of old age pensioners
mm,
that can't afford to retire. And the private funds, you retire at 65. It's the public pension,
mm.
the state
Yeah.
pension, where you have to work until you're 70 these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
But the private funds are not going to be enough, I don't think, to cover the expenses. There's going to be an awful lot of grannies and granddads living with the children or the grandchildren because they're just not going to be able to hack it on the. This is what I'm seeing in the future. This
I'm
hasn't
cynical,
this
probably.
hasn't made the headlines yet.
No.
I'm telling you, because it won't. I didn't get it from a British publication,
Mm,
just give you an idea.
no.
And the publication I did get it from, it wasn't a massive headline, right? But like I said, the last meeting in the House of Commons before the summer recess is when the white paper is going to be introduced and
Right.
it's going to be voted upon.
Okay.
Off you go.
Well, okay. Regards to overseas money coming in, yeah, I mean, I was reading just a headline this morning without getting two things. The billions that are going to Africa, for example, globally. This is globally, not from the UK. So we're talking US and everything. Yeah, the Africans are now admitting we get more from contributions from overseas families than we do from overseas aid. Yeah.
Yep, yep,
I
yep.
mean,
You're
it
talking
raises
about
to
you're talking
have,
about African
uh,
expats
yeah,
sending
yeah,
money back home. Yep,
yeah,
yep.
yeah, yeah. Okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, they're going to help the family. I mean, it happened. I'll be quite happens for Brazilians. Yeah,
Yes, of course, of course.
that happens. I know that happens across from Europe, particularly.
I've sent
Um,
I've sent money back. Incredible if you to believe if you like. But I've sent money back to the UK to help out.
yeah, well, yeah, but obviously it's reverse. You money going from the UK to Brazil.
No,
Um,
no, that's yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
yeah,
but
you've done the reverse. Yeah,
but yep,
you've
yep.
had money here. You've made money here and done so. Yeah, okay, but that happens sometimes. Um, Probably more than we think. There's a group of people based in Brasilia who probably do that quite more frequently, we'd like to think. Um, yeah, and but yeah, okay. Now with regards to that, okay, this happens, okay. That is where the global economy is. Um, with regards to pension funds, yes, it's going to affect me because I do have pensions in the UK. Yeah. And yeah, I don't monitor them closely. I've got another few years before I could claim. I mean, theoretically, I'm at the age now I could take early retirement, but I don't want to. Yeah, not while I'm able to work here. Because yeah, you get a severely reduced pension and everything
Right.
else, blah de blah de blah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I do have private, which will probably carry me, and then obviously the state pension will kick in at some point when I'm about 68, I think. Yeah. As stands at the moment this year, this week. Um, so yeah, but this then saying, well, okay, yeah, of course you should always look to invest in your own country first. But if your return isn't good, a pension is like a big shareholding scheme. Yeah. And this is what but a lot of people don't understand about pension. You're not even guaranteed a pension. You're investing in an investment organization. Yeah. Period. Yeah. And the idea of it is, yes, they have got to do the best for their shareholders, like any other organization will. I'm making it simplistic. Yeah. Um, and that's what they'll do. Like you said, they shop around the world and invest in whichever's best. I mean, you can look to see the type of companies your pension fund does invest in, and if you think there's something unethical that you don't agree with, um, I'm not sure if you can opt out of it or find another one or something, but you've good luck with finding one that's 100% for everything you want. Yeah.
The British
Um,
people do invest in the UK.
yeah. Well,
It's called income tax, right? That's the first thing.
well,
That's what
yeah, that's
the
what's
money's
the
going to the
shareholders. Yeah.
upkeep of the UK, right?
Well, that's shareholders. We're all shareholders in the
Yeah, that's
UK.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Right. So, and what our friend Rachel did, she decided to put a slap on a huge amount of tax on capital gains tax. Make it
yeah,
that's why all the millionaires ran away.
yeah. Of course.
Right?
I mean,
Uh, and um, and the money that's going out, being sent by the expats.
mm,
That's the money that we know,
yeah, I can say,
because a
yeah,
lot of them, when they go by Western, instead of going through the banks,
mm,
but you go through the Swiss system and everything like that.
yeah,
There
yeah,
are others that go through Western Union,
mm,
and they go through other online gateway
yeah.
transfer sites,
Oh, you can
and
see it, yeah.
and they aren't sort of declared
Well,
as such.
I mean, if you transfer a large amount of money via Western Union or whatever, or other organisations, unless they want to sponsor me, I don't want to mention them all. Um, yeah, Wise is the other one as well. Just to be fair, probably will go through the same one eventually at some point. But yeah, they all transfer money. We're not being sponsored by these people. I'm using examples, by the way. Yeah, it is a yeah, they do investigate you, ask you if you upward either as an individual sum or you send money
Burning. Yep.
over a period of time. Yeah, they do ask you where you got it from. And you have to prove it. And again, banks have to operate like that as well. Because
Yes, of
I've
course.
spoken to people who have to do the investigations, and yeah, there's been some Brazilians who've been sending money like you, large amount, who've actually had to justify, and again from Europe and across Europe,
Of
and they
course.
got quite shirty. Some people did, yeah, because if you can't actually prove where your uncle got the money from, and he's giving you the money,
If
yeah,
you took an aeroplane
yeah,
from the UK,
yeah,
you're allowed to carry £10,000 cash.
yeah, but you declare, yeah, yeah,
Other than that, you have to declare it and say where it's from. But
yeah.
and I can understand that because of money laundering and things like that. But I mean, that's not the point of the podcast. The
No, no
point
point.
of this is
It's
that
pensions.
an awful lot of money is leaving the UK. It isn't coming
Yeah,
back. There's
yeah,
nobody investing in no foreign investment in the very little foreign investment in the UK. Most of it's going out. The tidal
yeah.
wave's going out and not coming in. And she's going to do this with the pension funds in the end of June, I suppose it is, or July, when they
Yeah,
have the
she's
thing.
saying it.
And
I mean, yeah, they may find a way around
well, the
it. I
thing,
mean,
she isn't even Mark. She isn't even saying it.
well, no, they're
If
not
she
going
said
to.
if
No.
she said it, it would have been in the press, in the British press. It isn't. Like I said, I got it from a
Yeah,
foreign
yeah, it's gone
a
under the
foreign
radar.
source, and
It's
yeah, they're
gone
keeping
under
that
the
one
radar.
quiet. Yep,
Yeah,
yep. wait,
Except for our
wait for the
podcast now. Yeah.
SH. Wait for the SHTF.
Yeah. 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 Um, um, yeah, it's a yes. Does government do anything underhanded? I wouldn't have thought that. I mean, with regards to paying for defence and everything, yes, he's making all these grand announcements, and yes, defence is important. I mean, fundamentally, in a modern country, yes, it should be the investment or the money. It's not always investment should be spent on education, health, and defence. Yeah, and by that, be education, I mean things are actually useful, like believe it or not, mathematics, science, probably some business studying, yeah, other things, yeah, anything that could be useful to the population. So you have a you have a literate, numerate bunch of school leavers who can go to university, if universities are worth going to anymore, or go and do a trade. Um, yeah, people that are useful to you, in other words. Yeah. Not people that can quote figures about how much of the population belong to this particular group, or that's immaterial. Yeah, you're all
Yes, of
one,
course.
you're all
Yeah.
one population. Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
me, there's a lot of money being wasted on this nonsense. Yeah, um, but it's a it's always going to be a balancing act for governments. You know, how much money do we spend on defence? How much do we, what's important? Education. Like I say, a good healthy population. Yeah, pensioners are important. Um, yes, what's
They're,
happening?
they're
What's
the
happening?
most. They're the most important, Mark. They're the ones that kept the country going when they were younger.
Yeah, well, that
They
they've
should
been.
they should be able to retire
I mean,
comfortably.
yeah, I mean, I mean, I mean, they grew up. They are the post-war generation who still went through hardships into the 50s, and yeah, okay, the 60s was a boom time, but not for
Well,
everyone.
any
Yeah,
generation,
yeah,
any generation doesn't really
yeah,
matter.
yeah,
They kept the country going when they were younger, and
yeah,
they should be able to at least the minimum is
yeah,
continue a certain lifestyle that
exactly.
they
Yeah.
used to when they were younger.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of older people don't waste their money. I mean, they'll buy the car and everything else. I mean, this affects, like I say, us. I mean, yeah, I've still got living elder relatives in the UK who are in this situation, who are having already to cut their costs. Yeah,
Yeah, they
and
should
which
do.
involves, ironically involves not buying British-made items. So, um, yeah, I mean, yeah, your granddad goes out, he needs a tool on a one-off occasion. He isn't going to buy a British one. He's going to go to somewhere just buy a cheap Chinese one. Yeah. Um,
When I came back from the from Singapore when I was a small kid,
mm,
around about 7, 8 years old, there was a campaign in the UK
mm,
called "I'm Back in Britain."
yeah, I mean, yeah,
I am back in Britain in the late 60s,
yeah.
and I can't see that happening again, not for a long time.
Well, even Margaret Thatcher in the 80s tried to promote this about, yeah, buy British. And you couldn't buy British. You buy a car assembled in the UK, but it didn't mean it had British parts in it. Um, your mobile phone, wherever that comes from, has got Chinese parts in it. Yeah, you just assemble. I mean, um, yeah, we are living in a global economy now, and even what's going on with sanctions and everything, don't believe that for a minute. Do not believe that there aren't supplies from China, from Russia, or things from Russia are not coming from or anywhere else. Um, we are,
Russia's still selling gas to Germany. Russia's
mm,
still selling gas to Italy.
mm,
Russia's still selling gas to Spain.
yeah. I mean, at the moment, yeah. I mean, part of this defence is a diversion tactic against what you're saying, the financial situation we're really in. Yeah. Don't look here. Look over there. Yeah. A war that's probably.
Starmer says he's going to build 12 nuclear submarines. The thing is, he doesn't have enough sailors for the fleet he's got.
Yeah.
So who's going to be aboard these 12 new nuclear submarines? For
I'd
goodness sake.
imagine. I'd imagine they might have a prayer room. Um, that's right. Um, yes. That'd be interesting. Well, actually, to be quite honest, earn your no, no, I'm not going to go down that road on this podcast. Yeah, it is a yes, we have a major problem. I mean, obviously, it is pessimistic. Um, I mean, the thing is, I'd like to say the UK is the only country that's going. Well, I wouldn't like to say the UK is not the only country that's hitting this problem as well. I dare say the Germans probably have the same problem, possibly the French.
Yes, of course they
The
do.
French
Of course,
probably do. The
the
Netherlands, the
the
Netherlands
debt
probably do. Yeah.
the debt to GDP in Germany is around about 60% now. It's quite
Mm,
low
mm,
in relation to the UK. But I
yeah.
mean, UK's got is sort of losing its shine. I mean, for goodness sake, you can't even burn a Quran these days. I mean,
Well, actually, I mean, I'm just going to say I'm against burning any books at all. Yeah, of any. I mean, okay, there might be a few books that I'd rather didn't exist, but yeah, I'm not for censorship. I'm not for giving children books with adult themes in and everything else. Let the kids be kids for heaven's sake. But um, yeah, I mean, anyone burning anything in public, books. Yeah, but if he owned the book, if he bought the book, he can do what he wants with it. And people have been destroying Bibles for years. I mean, okay, there's a difference between the Catholic Bible and the Protestant Bible as well. We can't decide on that, but okay, disregards that in essence. I do believe in being respectful to people's faiths. Um, if people are respectful back, yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, would I be offended if someone burnt the Bible? They're going to answer, in my belief, they're going to have to answer to a higher authority than the court of the United Kingdom if they do. Yeah,
even the Supreme
desecration of
Court.
yeah, but that's not my problem at that point. Yeah, I don't care. It's a book with words in it. Yeah, he bought it. He can burn it. I mean, depends where he burnt it. Yeah, I mean, you can't really have people going around deciding to burn things in the middle of parks and things. We tend to get away from that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, It- he was making a point. It was insulting, but part of being in a free society, and I'll just end it on this, is being able to a degree, insult. And part of being in a free society is accepting the insults, providing they're not physical to me. Yeah.
Tell Salman Rushdie that.
I've seen him. I was at a U2 concert years ago. He came on stage. Yeah. He made a guest appearance at